Hi, my name's Mark, and I've got some great cruise packing tips for your next Alaskan cruise. But before we get started, I've got a website I'd like you to go to. It's at www.cruisesecretsexposed.com, where you'll find some great information written by an ex-cruise ship officer. It kind of reveals a lot of the ins and outs of the cruise industry and some of the things to look out for. So you should go on over there after this video is over. So let's get started. I mean, the thing that separates an Alaskan cruise from some of the other ones, say a Caribbean cruise, is basically the weather. So it's really important that you bring some warm clothes. The weather can really change dramatically and quickly in Alaska, so you want to bring a nice warm hat, some gloves. I'd probably bring some warmer gloves than that. Maybe a one of these ear warmers, and you want to have some boots that are weatherproof, because some of the excursions that you may go on, they will require that you have the proper footwear to go on this excursion. So you don't want to get your feet wet. So bring some good boots. You obviously want to bring your passports in, your boarding passes, and all that stuff, but you really want to make sure that you make copies of your medical information, and make sure you copy your passports and maybe some credit card information, and who to call if your credit card information happens to get stolen. Those are really important for you to do. These are just Ziploc bags. I always pack a lot of Ziploc bags when I travel. I always put anything that's wet. I pack in a Ziploc bag, because the last thing I need to happen is for something to leak, and then I have to deal with that the first thing I get on my cruise, because all my clothes smell like something or are wet. So pack lots of Ziploc bags. When you're in Alaska, you got to have some binoculars, right? So when you're on deck or on your balcony looking at the scenery, really important to bring some of these. I mean, if you don't have any, I would just go pick them up. They're not that expensive, let's say Walmart or something. I'm a coffee drinker, and I bring a coffee mug, an insulated coffee mug, because I like to, order room service first thing in the morning, get my coffee, and fill up my mug, and go out on deck on my balcony and just enjoy the scenery. And I also bring some of these. This is a packet of like the creamer. It's my flavored kind of cream that I like. So, and maybe some sugars, however you like your coffee. You might want to just bring, what you need. Now, as far as clothing goes, I think you want to think of wearing clothes in layers. Like I said, the weather can change dramatically in Alaska, so it's really important that you bring something that is going to keep you dry. This is actually a windbreaker and a raincoat. Real important that you have a hood that you can put over your head, and you're thinking layers. So sweater, then maybe a turtleneck underneath, and then like a long sleeve, real thin shirt like this. You're just thinking layers instead of lugging around a bulky jacket. You might want to just think in layers. Okay, umbrella. This is a collapsible small umbrella. It could rain, could get kind of nasty out there. So having a little umbrella, especially on an excursion, might be helpful. Unfortunately, viruses do spread on cruises, and I would consider bringing a can of Lysol. Now, I probably wouldn't bring this big can. I'd probably find a travel size can, and I'd probably take some of these Lysol wipes out of this and just put it in the Ziploc bag. I go in the room and spray everything down and wipe it down, because you've worked hard to get on this cruise, and you don't want to get sick. They will actually, if you do get the virus, they'll actually quarantine you in the room until you are feeling better for at least 24 hours. So the last thing you want to do is get sick, so just take some precautions. This is actually my kid's hand sanitizer. So make sure you bring some hand sanitizer too, and use it frequently. This is my my iPod docking stereo system that I have. Love to bring this thing on the cruise. I love to have my own music. This thing is powered by batteries and by this cord right here. So if you can pick one of these up or have them, definitely bring it. It's definitely worth having your own music in your room. I like to bring a little sticky notepad so I can leave notes for my room steward, in case they need more towels or whatever. Bring some gum, because they don't sell gum on the ship if you're a gum chewer. Might want to consider bringing some of that. Come on over here. Packaged snacks. I would bring some. They have plenty of food, obviously, on the cruise, but they don't have a lot of packaged snacks. So when you go on your excursion, it'd be nice to just have something if you get hungry, and especially if you have kids. You always need snacks to tie them over until the next meal. These are water flavoring thing. This is Mio. You might have seen these commercials. It's a water flavoner and water enhancer. And the reality is the water on these ships doesn't really taste that good. It's sitting somewhere in the bottom of the ship in a big vat, and it doesn't taste like it. So if you have a water bottle, you can fill it up with the regular tap water. It's fine to drink, but this will just make it taste better. Sewing kit. This is just a real travel-size sewing kit. You might not have thought of bringing that, but if you lose a button or something and you're ready to go on your formal night, and what are you going to do? If you have this thing, you're not searching around for someone who does, and this will just come in handy if you need it. Surge protector. This is something I bring every single time I go on a cruise. There's not a lot of outlets on a cruise, so this just allows you to have more outlets, and so you can plug in your stereo or your other things that you have, your chargers, your camera chargers. Moving on, here we have, it's like one of those over-the-door organizers, and this is kind of a small one, but something to consider. You have a lot of little things that you need to bring on a cruise, and this just allows you to put, you can put your sandals in here, you can put, just little things that you want to, keep in here. There's not a lot of room in these cruise cabins, so having a little extra storage is always helpful. This is a small medical kit, and you want to have some basic supplies in here, Band-Aids and antibacterial ointment and stuff like that. You don't want to go on an excursion, get a blister on your foot, and now you got to go hunt for a Band-Aid down the infirmary or something like that. So just basic stuff. As far as motion sickness stuff, this here is called Transderm. This is actually a prescription, and your doctor will have to get this for you, but it's like a patch you put behind your ear, and it helps with the I think it's the equilibrium in your body, and it will prevent you from help you at least from getting sick. This here is something you wear on your wrist. It's like a little acupressure thing, and that little dot there puts pressure on your wrist, and it has been known to help with motion sickness. And this is something I picked up at Walmart. It's called Motion Ease. It's just it's like an herbal thing, and you put it behind your ear as well. So I actually have heard that a friend of mine went on an Alaskan cruise, and she told me that they had to bring in the stabilizers on the ship because of the ice in the water, and it just made the ship rock really bad, and she got sick and wish she had some of those things. Actually had to wait and go down to the infirmary to get some medication. All right, moving on. You're going to be eating all kinds of different weird foods and maybe drinking a little bit more, so you might want to bring some Tums, maybe some Advil. If you have children, make sure you bring some Tylenol, maybe a thermometer. Don't forget your sunblock. Of course, it's still sunny out there, you still get burned. And you want to bring some bug spray. This is off, and this is actually, this bullfrog here is sunscreen and with some insect repellent in it. And, when you go on your excursion, there, it could be in the woods. This is Alaska, and there could be lots of bugs and things like that, so you don't want to get bit. This here is actually just some air freshener. It's kind of nice to have. Those rooms are pretty small, so you never know. You might need that. This here is an address book, and I would obviously take the addresses out of here. If you get some postcards and you want to mail them, you can get these, just want to remember your addresses. Obviously, sure you're not going to forget your camera, hope not, but you want to make sure that you don't forget your batteries, the extra batteries that you need for your camera and your battery charger. This little thing here is a little tripod, which is really nice. It screws on the bottom of your camera, or most cameras, and Alaska's all about the scenery, so you want to have, you don't have to ask somebody to take your picture all the time, and if you want to get that nice shot with you and the person that you went with, you can just prop it up so you're not searching for a book or whatever to prop your camera on. So I got that at Walmart. That's it was cheap too. Flashlight. Unfortunately, from time to time, a cruise may lose power. That doesn't happen often, but having a flashlight is kind of a good idea. This is actually a really cool one. This is it's made by LLB, and it has like a knife in there and little scissors and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you put that in your packed bag. Don't put this in your carry-on, obviously. But just a small flashlight is good. Book. You might be reading a lot of, have time to read finally on a cruise. This is my wife's book, not mine. And lastly, we got here like a little tote bag. You probably go and your bag will be packed, and you might not have any room when you go back to pack any of the souvenirs that you might have picked up on your trip. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope to give you some ideas of what to pack. And once again, go over to cruisesecretsexposed.com, and you'll find some real valuable information there. I know I did. So have a great cruise, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.